Imagine launching a rocket into space only to have it return 30 years later like a cosmic boomerang. Well, that's exactly what happened with the Apollo 12 rocket. This rocket was launched in 1969 but got unexpectedly stuck in space. Then, in 2002, after a 30-year cosmic odyssey, it mysteriously reappeared in Earth's orbit. But what kept this piece of Apollo 12 rocket drifting through space, and how did it come back? In this video, we'll uncover the ongoing mystery of Apollo 12's missing piece, how it came back home, and where it is now. In 1969, the space race was heating up. America was eager to make its mark on the moon, and the Apollo 12 mission was about to launch with astronauts Pete Conrad, Alan Bean, and Dick Gordon aboard. This wasn't just about bragging rights and a few moon rocks. The Apollo 12 mission had some serious goals: to learn more about the moon's science, test out new exploration techniques, and push the limits of what humans could achieve in space. The astronauts may have gotten the moonwalk, but the Saturn V rocket used in the Apollo 12 mission was about to begin an incredible journey. That rocket was a 3-stage marvel of engineering. Stage 1 was like the initial kickoff. Its engine burned hot and loud for about 2.5 minutes, giving that giant rocket the boost it needed to break free of Earth's pull. Stage 2 kept the momentum going, burning for roughly 6 minutes and pushing the spacecraft even higher and faster. And at the end, Stage 3 fired up. This was the final push that would send the astronauts toward the moon. Once the Apollo 12 astronauts were all set for their moon adventure, NASA had a plan for that leftover rocket stage. Their plan was to get rid of that leftover rocket stage for good. They figured, let's send it on a never-ending vacation around the sun. To do this, they wanted to use a clever trick, a cosmic slingshot. They'd use the last of the stage's fuel to swing it around the moon, using the moon's gravity to fling it far away from Earth. But here's where things went wrong. The system NASA used to track the rocket was off by just a smidge, and that tiny error made them think the rocket was zooming a bit faster than it really was. So they tried to correct it, but they overdid it. These small adjustments, just 40 kilometers per hour, totally messed up NASA's plan. Instead of getting that slingshot boost out into our solar orbit, the rocket missed its target and stuck in a weird, wobbly orbit around Earth like a wonky roller coaster ride. For a few months, the rocket stage was in a weird cosmic limbo, but the Earth and the Moon kept pulling at it in different directions. This made its orbit all stretched out and unpredictable. Eventually, astronomers spotted it near the Earth-Sun Lagrange point 1, L1. This is the place in space where the Earth's gravity and the Sun's gravity almost cancel each other out. And here, objects can drift without being pulled strongly in any direction. Once the rocket stage got past that special L1 point, the Sun was like, "Hey there, come join my party," and started to pull it into its own orbit. But this new orbit was a major problem, totally the opposite of NASA's plan. This new path was actually closer to the Sun than Earth's orbit, and because of this, the third stage started moving slightly faster than the Earth. This unplanned speed boost meant it was slowly escaping Earth's grasp. And just like before, it disappeared from radar for a few months. However, this wasn't a permanent escape. In 1986, the third stage caught up to Earth again, but didn't quite get close enough to be recaptured into Earth orbit. So it kept floating around for another 16 years before making another pass near Earth. In 2002, astronomers spotted something strange orbiting Earth. At first they figured, just another space rock. But the more they studied it, the more this object stood out. It was bouncing around in an unpredictable way, not like a regular asteroid at all. Plus, it was way too shiny. But things got interesting when scientists analyzed J002E3's spectrum. Think of this spectrum like a unique chemical fingerprint. They compared this fingerprint to all sorts of materials, and finally, it matched perfectly with the paint NASA used on their Saturn V rockets. Then everyone got their answer. This wasn't some space rock, it was a piece of the Apollo 12 mission, back home after being lost in space for years. So, what brought J002E3 back into Earth's clutches after such a long time? Well, the answer lies in the way gravity works in our solar system. You see, it's not just the Earth and Moon pulling on things out there. The Sun's gravity is also a major force to reckon with. And this complex interplay of these gravitational forces creates regions in space called weak stability boundaries. These are like cosmic limbo zones where objects can temporarily get caught, drifting around without a clear direction. I am sure that's probably what happened to the Apollo 12 rocket stage. After its misfired escape, it ended up in one of these gravitational limbo zones. But those special zones in space aren't permanent homes. Eventually, something happens, maybe a tiny change in the object's path or a close call with the moon, and it gets knocked out of balance. That's what broke the Apollo 12 rocket stage free, sending it falling back towards Earth. But even with their advanced telescopes, tracking J002E3's orbit was a real challenge. Its path kept changing, constantly influenced by the Earth, the moon, and even the subtle pull of the sun. This unpredictable dance of gravity slowly pushed the rocket stage further away, and eventually giving it enough speed to break free from Earth's grasp. As for what would happen next, there are a few possibilities. Like, it could crash back into Earth, burning up in the atmosphere like a giant shooting star. Or it might get lucky and get caught in a more stable orbit around Earth, becoming a strange new satellite. Less likely, but still possible, the cosmic pinball game could continue, flinging it back out into the depths of space, perhaps to return again someday. But still, it's an ongoing mystery. The mystery of Apollo 12's rocket stage teaches us a few things. It shows how tricky space travel can be. Even with careful planning, things don't always go as expected out there. But above all, this story gives us a sense of just how vast space really is. Who knows what else is floating out there? Maybe there are pieces of other missions or even forgotten objects from our earliest steps into space. They're out there waiting to be found, each with its own story to tell.